Hi, welcome to GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. Just going to do a review and my initial review and thoughts on the, and just to clarify, when I say initial review, this is, I haven't had it long, not taken that many photos, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do follow-up reviews on all of these lenses and the new camera kit that I've got, because I've gone micro four thirds, and if you see all my other videos, so there will be follow-up reviews once I've taken more photos and used it and to see how we're getting on with it. So this is just my initial thoughts on the Panasonic Lumix 12 to 35 HD 2.8 nano coated zoom lens. Vario X lens, power OIS, ASFH, whatever that is, I don't know what that is, but yeah, so there you go. So essentially in 35mm equivalents, in old money, it's a 24 to 70 2.8. That makes it easier, doesn't it? But it's got built-in image stabilisation, it's got nano coating on the surface, it's one of their premium X lenses, it's weather sealed, and it is gorgeous. I mean, I've used, I never owned one, but I have borrowed and used the Nikon 24 to 70 2.8. Wasn't image stabilised, by the way, and it was a monster of a lens. I tried it on I had a lens of a D800, and it was just, it was an awful thing. It was just so heavy. And if you're on a professional shoot, and you know, weight is not so much of an issue then, but when you're just, you know, when you're not doing professional work, and you want to enjoy your photography and you want to carry your best gear around with you, you know, perhaps on a day out, then it's, I don't know, it's so much nicer having, you know, this is a 24 to 70 2.8 weather sealed lens. It's a pro lens. Now don't get me wrong, this is heavy compared to a lot of the other lenses in the micro four thirds stuff. For instance, compared to this telephoto, which is equivalent to a 90 to 350 lens, should be about this big really, but you know, it's tiny. That weighs a lot more than this, so it feels like a chunky, really nice piece of glass. You get a nice hood for it, petal hood. Take note, Olympus, every lens should come with a hood. I don't care what you say, every lens should come with a hood, if nothing else, to protect it. Don't know why they don't do that. Anyway, I digress. The quality is beautiful. It's a mixture of metal, rubber, plastic, but really nice quality, everything about it. Just one button on the side, which is your image stabilisation on or off. And the zoom ring, I mean, obviously it does trombone, but not too far, and it doesn't, the front element doesn't rotate or anything. So it's a nice zoom ring. You don't get things like zoom creep with any of these lenses. They just don't have those problems because they're so much lighter than the bigger full frame lenses. You know, you don't get zoom creep with any of these lenses. The zoom is lovely and smooth, really nice. And then your manual focusing ring on there, that is gorgeous. I mean, it's not stopped, it's fly-by-wire, but it's got a lovely damped feel to it. You can do it single, just with one finger, but it's got a lovely quality feel to everything about it. So I'm just going to pop it on a camera. Obviously this would be my standard lens on the GH4, which I'm recording on at the moment, with, funny enough, the kit lens from this. So we're all swapping around at the moment. So, but this is the other beauty of this system that I've got, is that all my lenses fit all my cameras. So I've got the GH4, Olympus EPL5, I've got a GH3 on the way, and all the lenses are going to be interchangeable, and I just think it's wonderful. Now, I've just put that on there, and I'm just thinking, actually, that's not bad, you know. It's because it's such a nice chunky lens, yeah, and all the weight is in the lens, that's the bit you're going to be holding, and you're just sort of supporting the, so that actually works for me. I know it looks a bit daft, but that works for me. Quite happy with that. Got the image stabilisation turned off because obviously we've got image stabilisation in the body on the Olympus, and you don't want them both on because they conflict with each other and go like that. So there you go. So performance wise, autofocus, again, as with all the micro four thirds stuff, it's just so fast. It's lovely. touch to focus, bosh, 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 bosh. I've got touch to take photos. All works seamlessly as it would on the Panasonic bodies. Everything, you know, works the same on the Olympus here. So autofocus is lovely. The 24 to 70 range we all know and love is a fantastic range for an everyday walking around lens. You could use that for pretty much everything. The 70mm, yeah, you could get at 2.8, you could get some reasonably good bokeh and out of focus. And the thing about what I've noticed as well with these lenses and this system is that the bokeh, the background blur, is really nice on all of the lenses. Even the cheaper lenses like the this telephoto, the 45-175, beautiful bokeh. This beautiful bokeh, the 45-1.8, just beautiful bokeh. I don't know what it is. They've obviously thought about these things and they've designed it in and thought, hang on, let's make it as good as we can. And little things like that may get overlooked. You know, what sort of aperture blades should we put in? Should we put curved ones, straight ones, 9/7? How many should we put in? Well, let's try things and wait till we get a nice look, and then we'll use that. You know, for me, the R&D that goes into the Panasonic and the Olympus stuff seems to far surpass the R&D that goes into Nikon and Canon. I get the impression that, you know, you might have someone sitting in an R&D meeting at Nikon and they say, oh, why don't you put you know, a tilty touchscreen on the new D610? And someone will go, don't be ridiculous, we couldn't possibly do that. Couldn't possibly have a tilted screen on it. Whereas I think they should all have. But anyway, I've sort of gone a bit mad and digressed. This lens, I was toying with the idea of getting the 14 to 140 lens because I thought one lens does everything, bosh, done. Which I am going to get for the GH3 because that will predominantly be my girlfriend's camera. And so we're going to get the 14 to 140 on that, and that will replace her Nikon D7000 with her 18 to 200 on it. So she won't have to worry about changing lenses. And I thought, well, that's a good idea. But then I thought, nah, I like the idea of having a weather sealed lens. I do want a 2.8. I wasn't so bothered with the telephoto one. And for me, it's just a spectacular buy. It's just an absolutely gorgeous lens. It's sharp, it's contrasty, it's quick to autofocus, it's got 2.8 all the way through, it's a lovely range, it's well made. It's got nano surface coating, so you don't get issues with lens flare and stuff like that unless you particularly, you know, really try and look for it. Yeah, it's just a wonderful thing, as with everything that I've bought on the Micro Four Thirds system at the moment. You know, and to be able to just, because the lens that I'm going to keep on here is going to be the 45-1.8. It's unlikely that I'll use the kit lens that come with it because it's just, yeah, it's not bad, but it's just all right. But to be able to, you know, just pop out and think, well, actually, I don't really want to take the GH4, or I just want a little camera, but I want really decent optics on it. I mean, I can just take that out with me, and it just doesn't weigh anything. It's compared, I mean, it does weigh, obviously, it is a chunky lens, but it's nothing compared to carrying around a D610 with a 24 to 70 or, you know, a big lens on it. It just doesn't compare. You carry this all day, you know, no problems at all. So there you go, get a nice little lens cap. I did compare it to the Olympus version, which was more metally, more chunky, better looking, but much heavier. And because I went for the GH4 as opposed to the M1, you know, I got this lens. But there was nothing wrong with the other one. I just thought it was a bit too heavy, a bit too metally, and the camera body didn't suit me. The OM1 the OMD EM1, that was it, the one I tried with the Pro lens on. But I just preferred this system, to be honest. So there you go. I digress again. So there you go. That's my initial thoughts on the Panasonic Lumix 12 to 35 2.8. There will be photos, rather than put them up at the end of the video because they're not particularly good quality when they show up on YouTube. I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, to go and have a look at my Flickr page, and my photos are on there, so you'll be able to see all the EXIF information that the photos were taken on, and then there's other lenses that you can compare to and things like that. And I just think it's a better way. They're all high-res images that are on there. They're the full JPEGs, so you know, you can go and have a look at the photos that this lens is capable of, and you know, you can sort of specify this lens and look at other people's photos as well and see what they can do, because there's much better photographers out there than me, I can assure you of that. So there you go, absolute 5-star, stellar, wonderful lens. I can't say enough about it. It's absolutely fantastic. And you've been watching GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. Watch this space for more videos, predominantly on Micro Four Thirds gear. Cheers, bye.